There are two kinds of open worlds. The ones that make you rush from mission to mission, and the ones that make you completely forget you even had one. You start driving toward an objective, then you notice a street you were never taken before. So you turn. The street leads to another one. Then a staircase catches your eye, and 20 minutes later, you're on the other side of the city, wondering how you even got there. Nothing happened, you didn't unlock a weapon, you didn't complete a side quest, you weren't chasing an achievement. You were just exploring. Weirdly enough, the games that have given me that feeling the most are Ubisoft games, which sounds crazy, because if you ask almost anyone today, Ubisoft forgot how to make open worlds years ago. Every release gets criticized for the same reasons. Bloated maps, endless icons, repetitive missions, copy-pasted activities. And honestly, I agree with most of those criticisms. Ubisoft is a serious problem. But I don't think it's the one people usually talk about, because Ubisoft doesn't struggle to build interesting worlds. They struggle to give you interesting things to do inside them. And those two are completely different problems. That's why, with GTA 6 getting closer and closer, I keep thinking about one question. If Rockstar borrowed just one thing from Ubisoft, what should it be? Not the towers, not the collectibles, definitely not the hundreds of repetitive side activities, but something much simpler. The way Ubisoft designs places that quietly makes you want to slow down. Places that don't constantly ask for your attention, but somehow manage to keep it anyway. I think we've started judging open worlds in a strange way. Whenever a new game comes out, we immediately ask, how many missions are there? How many side activities? How long to beat this game? Almost like we're comparing future lists. The more systems, the better the world. Those things matter. GTA 5 wouldn't be GTA 5 without its random events. Red Dead Redemption 2 wouldn't feel alive without all the little stories hidden across its map. So I think there's another question that's just as important. If I removed every mission from this game, would I still enjoy being there? Not forever, just for a half an hour. Would I still want to walk around, drive without a destination, take a road just because it looks interesting? Because that's what separates a map from a place. A map tells you where to go, a place makes you curious enough to ignore the map. And that's something Ubisoft has quietly become incredibly good at. The perfect example is Watch Dogs 2. During development, Ubisoft's artists made several trips to the Bay Area, not just to photograph famous landmarks, but ordinary neighborhoods. The painted houses, the steep streets, the cafes, the murals, the parks, the staircases connecting different parts of the city. They weren't trying to recreate a postcard, they were trying to recreate the feeling of living there. And I think that's exactly why the series works. One thing I love about Watch Dogs 2 is that it rarely tries to impress you. It just keeps giving you reason to look somewhere else. A mirror station across an entire building, a cable car climb in one of San Francisco's steep hills, a hidden basketball court, a skate park, a small cafe tucked between two streets. None of these are major gameplay features, but together, they make the city feel worth paying attention to. That's something I think Ubisoft's artists deserve far more credit for. Every district feels like it was designed with a different personality. Downtown feels cold and corporate, Hey Ashbury bursts with color, Silicon Valley feels clean, modern, almost artificial. Oakland has a completely different energy. You're not just moving through different parts of the map, you're moving through different identities. And after a while, you stop navigating with the minimap. You start navigating with memory. Oh, I know where this street leads. I've seen the mirror before. The park is just behind this hill. That's when a game world stops feeling like a level and starts feeling like a place. And this is where I think the comparison with GTA 5 gets really interesting. Because I don't actually think Rockstar and Ubisoft were trying to build the same kind of open world. Rockstar builds worlds that constantly react to you. Ubisoft builds worlds that constantly attract you. Think about Los Santos. You're driving down the street, and suddenly a police chase crosses the intersection. Someone steals a car, two NPCs start arguing. A random event pulls you into a completely different story. Rockstar fills its worlds with situations. They're masters at making the player think, I wonder what's going to happen next. Ubisoft asks a different question. I wonder what's over there. And the tiny difference completely changes how you explore. One game constantly entertains you, the other constantly tempts you. That's why I honestly enjoy wandering around San Francisco more than Los Santos itself. Not because it's the better game, I don't think it is. GTA 5 has better missions, better storytelling, better simulation, better systems. But if you take away every mission marker, every objective, every reward, I think Watch Dogs 2 is simply the more inviting theory. It's a theory that rewards curiosity instead of efficiency. And I don't think enough games do that anymore. The funny thing is, Ubisoft has been doing this for years. Watch Dogs 2 wasn't an accident. Assassin's Creed Unity, Black Flag, Origins, even Far Cry, they're all built around the same philosophy. Made the world interesting enough, and players will naturally want to explore it. Assassin's Creed Unity might be my favorite example. Almost nobody talks about the series itself, and I think that's a shame because Paris is still one of the most impressive series ever built for an open world game. At a time when every studio was obsessed with making maps bigger, Ubisoft went in the opposite direction. Instead of making a massive country, they focused almost everything on a single city. The result is incredibly density. So you don't travel through Paris, you flow through it. Parkour isn't just a mechanic, it's a language the city was built around. And then there are the crowds. Ubisoft engineers pushed hardware at the time to render thousands of NPCs in the streets during the French Revolution. Not because every single NPC mattered, but because together they created the feeling that Paris existed independently of you. You're not the center of the city, you're just another person moving through it. That's an incredibly difficult feeling to create. And more than 10 years later, very few games have managed to replicate it. Which made me wonder, if Ubisoft is so good at building worlds, why do so many of their games still become repetitive? The more I thought about it, the more obvious the answer became. Ubisoft's biggest problem isn't that they forgot how to build open worlds, it's that they don't trust them. Think about almost every Ubisoft game released over the last decade. The moment you step into one of these incredible environments, the game immediately starts pulling your attention away from it. A notification pops up, a new collectible appears, three more icons are added to your map, another outpost, another challenge, another checklist. It's almost as if Ubisoft is scared you'll get bored if you're left alone for more than 30 seconds. And I think that's where they get wrong because those worlds don't need constant interruptions. They're already interesting enough. One of my favorite memories in Watch Dogs 2 isn't a mission. I don't remember what I was supposed to be doing. I just remember driving across the Golden Gate Bridge at sunset, taking a random exit, ending up in a neighborhood I'd never explored before, and spending the next 20 minutes walking through the streets that weren't connected to any objective. There was no reward, no achievement, no hidden weapon waiting for me, but I still remember the moment years later. And that's because curiosity is a reward in itself. Somewhere along the way, Ubisoft stopped trusting that. Instead of asking, how do we make players curious? They started asking, how do we keep players busy? Those sound similar, but they're completely different philosophies. Being busy isn't the same as being engaged. Checking things off a list isn't the same as exploring. And filling every corner of the map with content often makes the world feel smaller. Because once every point of interest has an icon, nothing is left to discover. Curiosity disappears. You're no longer looking at the world, you're looking at the interface. Which brings us back to GTA6. Rockstar doesn't need to learn how to tell stories. They don't need to learn how to build believable characters. They don't need to learn how to create dynamic systems. They're already mastered those things. But there's one area where I genuinely think Ubisoft has something to teach the rest of the industry. Environment design. The ability to create places that make players slow down, not because the game tells them to, but because they want to. Imagine Vice City design with the same philosophy. Not a bigger map, not more activities, just more moments where you ignore the GPS because the street catches your attention. A neighborhood you've never visited, a boardwalk that looks worth walking, a rooftop that makes you wonder if you can reach it. Those are the moments that stay with us, not because the game rewarded us, but because we discovered them ourselves. So, if GTA 6 can combine Rockstar's incredible world simulation with Ubisoft's ability to build places you genuinely want to wander through, I don't think we'll just get another great open world. We might get the first one that feels impossible to leave. Thank you for watching.